Update. My aunt tried to have me arrested. I'm still in shock. Original story. 4 nights ago, I, 21 male, went over aunt's house to do some work in their garage around the back of the house. I literally didn't hear any of the things that went down. I had my earphones on and also loud machine. My cousin, 27 male, came home high off his butt, I guess, but he got crazy. He usually does when he is on something hard. They started fighting and he got violent and loud. My aunt's friend was there at the house too, so she saw everything. My cousin was hitting his own mom, and he locked her in the bathroom just for the heck of it. Around then, her friend took off to her house to call the cops. They got there, and by the time I was leaving the garage, they were already talking to my aunt. I only walked to the front because I saw the cop car outside. Then she freaking told the cops I did that to her. Then they were asking me questions. Meanwhile, my aunt is freaking crying and accusing me of getting violent. I'm panicking and stuff, so that starts making me seem guilty, and I'm messing up everything I say. Stuttering even. By the way, my cousin took off before they even came, so it wasn't like he was there anymore. These cops are straight up getting ready to take me in. The only thing that saved me was my aunt's friend who came back, and she confirmed it wasn't me, but my cousin instead. I don't know how much longer we were there with the cops, but it felt like forever. And by the time they left, my hands were still shaking. But man, I just felt the betrayal too from my aunt. She tried to have me arrested to cover her own craphead son just after he freaking beat her and locked her in the bathroom. I'm so mad. My mom is pissed off at her, so are her other sisters. But they're trying to set us up to talk again to clear things up. But what is there to clear up? She tried to ruin my life just because she messed up as a mother. My family's thinking we should make up, and I don't think they're gonna let this go. What should I do? Edit. My mom's the only one on my side, by the way. She supports if I never want to see my aunt again. The rest of my family is on wanting us to make up already and move on. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Do not forgive and do not forget. Make it clear that you're done with her, for good. Someone who will pull something like that is literally dangerous to you. Explain this to your mother, and make it very clear that it isn't something fixable, and lay it out that you feel like she's prioritizing someone who lied about something so serious over her victim. It might also be worth contacting the police and seeing if you can pursue her for filing a false report. Lucky my mom, the only one who says she could be dead to me if that's what I want. It's everyone else who are saying we should make up, since she was just panicking in the moment. Freaking bullcrap. This is them making you a list of who you no longer need to have in your life. Tell them to do one then. Add them to the dead to me list with your aunt. I cut every single person off that supported my falsely accusing ex without ever saying a word to them. And I can say it's made a single dent in my life. Only room for better people to take their place. Can you file charges for a false police report? I don't know how that works, since your friend was the one who called the cops and said what my cousin was doing. My aunt just lied about who. But lied by implicating you. I'm not sure how you would do that, but maybe someone else will know. If she had succeeded, she could have really ruined your life. I'd start by not volunteering to do work at your aunt's house anymore, and follow that up by open avoidance of her in the future. She can decline to prosecute her son for his actions, but attempting to push them onto you is a hard no. This is no contact territory. Whether he's charged or not is completely out of his mom's hands. The DA decides who to prosecute or not prosecute. They may decide to go ahead with it regardless of how she feels. He violated his parole anyways, so he's likely getting locked back up again regardless, I think. And now for the update. So, seems like my family decided to escalate things a few days ago. I was tricked into coming to my cousin's house, different cousin, to play video games, and my aunt was there with everyone else. They wanted us to talk privately, but I said to hell with that. They really tried to freaking ambush me into talking to her that I couldn't with them. The only thing I told my aunt is that she is dead to me, and that I've given myself time to think about this. And to not ever try to talk to me again because she could have wrecked my whole life with her lies. Job, school, everything. That crap would follow me forever. After I left, I told everybody else that was there I'm not talking to them either. And now they're getting a lot of crap from my mom and my grandma. I agree with you guys that now going no contact is the only way they'll leave me alone. At least till they never push it again. But I'm officially done with her. It stings still, to be honest. Never thought someone in my family would go that low to get me arrested over something I didn't do and ruin my whole life. Doesn't matter if it was to protect her own kid. He's a freaking piece of turd addict, and I'm glad he's getting locked up again anyway since he violated his parole doing that. She did all of that for nothing in the end. I know some people kept saying to press charges on her for making a false police report or whatever it's called, but to be honest, I don't want to deal with that drama anymore. Don't want to waste my energy on a situation that already drained me so much. Still, thanks for the advice and for listening. I'm so sorry your piece of crap family did this to you. Now you know the ones that you can trust are your mom and grandma. Keep them close and ban everyone else. Can't believe it either. They're not the ones who almost got taken by the cops and have that on record to follow them around all their lives. I know, it's horrific. I don't know what race you are, but all I can think of is what if you had been black and the police hadn't believed your neighbor at all and arrested you anyway? You'd have ended up behind bars for something you didn't do. Happens all the time. If you're able to take legal action against the aunt for the false accusation, I would personally. Whatever you decide, I hope you take care and find a way to heal from this massive betrayal from your family. We're white, but trust me, I know high chances it would have been a totally different story. I'd just rather not get involved more at this point. I want to forget about it. As someone who had a false accusation chase her out of an entire career, I'm here to tell you you're doing the right thing. Thanks. You think it better that I'm just not part of that at all. Can't forgive her for what she tried to do to me. Consider suing her. Seriously. The false report she filed is crime in and of itself, and could screw you over. I know you said you don't want to deal with it anymore, but your future is kind of on the line here. Think of it this way. Your aunt enables her addict son by doing what she does, including what she did to you, and you'll be enabling her behavior by not making sure she faces consequences and getting your record clean again. Not really. Cops already know it was my cousin and he's been arrested. Next story is titled, Update. My mom stole $6,000 from me claiming I owe it to her. Original story. She's 50 female and I'm 17 female. She lost her job in March of this year and was behind on rent/bills. So without asking me or telling me, she just emptied my bank account. I'm a minor in the US. When I confronted her, she told me I owed it to her for her struggles raising me as a single parent. The thing is, I'm headed to college in a month, and that money was my living expense for the entire year. It was money I had earned through competitions and awards. Not to mention, she isn't contributing a penny towards my education. And after paying for tuition, I now no longer have any way to support myself without a loan. Not to mention I already contributed around $2,500 in rent over the past few months since she was laid off, and she has around $45,000 in her own savings account. She had no reason to withdraw from mine. Of course, she isn't paying me back. Never does, even though she claims she will. No one seems to be taking me seriously. I called family, the police station, etc., but everyone is just dismissing me for being overdramatic. I feel so hurt and betrayed by her actions. She has a history of being very verbally/physically abusive, but this is just unfathomable. I can't rationalize how my own mother could steal from me. How do I deal with these emotions? I'm so lost and I can't think. Added to add, I also can't set up my own account until I'm 18, so even if I do earn any money, I know exactly where it's going to go for the fall and most of the spring semester. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Well, when you haven't spoken to her in 10 years, she'll have no one to blame but herself. I'm guessing this is just the tip of the iceberg? Just a tip, but I think it's the straw that broke the camel's back. You need to lock down your credit ASAP. This exactly. My mother did pretty much the exact same thing. The minute I turned 18, she opened multiple credit cards with my social security number and racked up $6,000 in debt. I had to pay it off myself because I needed better credit for an apartment and she wouldn't do it fast enough. It's screwed. You're going to college, right? You may have to open your own student checking account. Go to your college to talk about this. Unfortunately, you also need to have your mails sent to you instead of the address you share with your mother. As a parent, I'm mortified that your mother did this to you. I'm so sorry. I looked at student checking accounts, but until I'm 18, my mom has to co-sign and can withdraw funds. I would recommend talking to your local bank manager as well. I opened my first checking account when I was 16, without a co-signer/adult, because my mom was similar, through US Bank. I had money put into a saving account growing up and never actually saw it. When I got my first job, I refused to use the same savings account. I didn't trust my mom having access to it. I think they can approve it at their own discretion. Thank you so much. This gives me hope. I'll visit my local Chase at US Bank tomorrow to see if they can make an exception. And now for the update. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who took the time to read my post and give me advice. There were too many comments to respond to, but I did read everyone, and my heart goes out to those who shared similar stories. A lot has happened in the past few days. The day after I posted, my mom broke the lock in my bedroom door and accused me of planning unspeakable things to her in conjunction with my professor. Which is not only false, but so laughably outlandish that I finally called my university as many here suggested. Their police department got me out the same day and put me in a temporary shelter for 2 days before moving me temporarily to university dorms. My mom did put up a fight while I was leaving and accused me of being a night worker. She claimed evidence of my illegal activities could be found on my computer, iPad, and phone, all currently in police custody. I did give the police permission to look through my devices and even gave them my passwords to everything, but the relentless daily interrogations have really worn me down. Thankfully, my university gave me a loaner laptop so I'm able to resume classes. I also found out that I won a scholarship I had applied for a while back and will be receiving a check worth $10,000 in the next week. Until I find permanent housing, I plan to put a hold on my mail so my mom can't get her hands on that money. Thank you so much to everyone who so graciously offered to donate, but it looks like I will now be able to afford all my tuition with a little left over. Of course, I still miss my mom, and it takes everything in me not to respond to the emails she sends me asking if I'm safe and telling me she loves me. I'm trying to stay strong through it all, but I know deep down I did the right thing. There's still a lot that I have to figure out, like opening my bank account with no access to any official documents or a phone, but I'm hoping to iron out those kinks within the next month or so, and I'll post an update again when my situation is more stable. Now for the last story. My 33 female twin sister has cost me my best friend 3 times, and now I want her out of my life at my wedding. We often have dramas, but I'll tell you of 3. The first time I can remember her doing this was when we were 17. Me and my best friend Beth had just discovered that her father, the local cop, was cheating on his wife. We caught him red-handed, and Beth asked me not to say anything until she decided whether or not to tell her mother. Later that night, I was dropping off other friends after the drama and returning home. Beth was waiting for me at my house with my sister, but I didn't know, and my sister called me, not warning me she had me on speaker. My sister said that Beth's father, the cop, had just pulled her over and fined her for a fake traffic offense. I thought my sister was still in the car, but she was at home. The cop likely did this because of what we discovered. I told her, fine. If he wants to play that game, we will expose what we know. I don't know why I said it. I never would betray Beth, and I never intended to tell anyone. And my best friend was gutted, and eventually defriended me because of what I said. My sister never apologized for not telling me I was on speaker. She's done this several times since, but back to the main story. The second best friend I lost happened when we were 25. My best friend Kate and I were on a single girls trip because her long-term boyfriend of 8 years had recently dumped her, and I was trying to get away for a weekend to unwind. We went to a rodeo, and I had arranged to stay at my sister's on the way. We get to my sister's to discover that Kate's ex was at my sister's house. She lives in a town 4 hours away, and I was shocked. We had essentially walked into an ambush. I was horrified and offered to take Kate to a hotel instead, but she tried to brave the situation. My sister lied and said that she told me she had invited Kate's ex to stay, and I swear in my life that isn't true. It was an extremely awkward night, and we hid in the spare room all night. Kate, still heartbroken from the breakup, asked me if there was anything going on between her ex and my sister, and I swore, truthfully, that I had no idea they even talked, let alone that he would be here. But honestly said I did not believe anything was going on between them. Long story short, there was, and my sister ended up marrying him. The ordeal prompted my friend to literally move to the other side of the country. The most recent happened yesterday. At 33, my sister called me from a different town, asking me if rumors about my friend Lily cheating on her husband with a guy called Troy are true. The incident happened years ago. Yes, she did cheat, but it wasn't with Troy. It was with someone else. I kept Lily's secret for years, and before I responded to my sister's questions, I literally asked, "Am I on speaker? Who else can hear?" etc., etc. She told me she swore it would go no further. She just wanted to know because she had suspicions about Lily and her friend's husband. Despite my alarm bells, I told her Lily's secret, trusting it would stay between sisters. It didn't. My sister spread it, and now Lily and the guy she slept with have been attacking me. Believe me, I accept it. I'm guilt-ridden over my share of the blame in all of these stories. But I've also hit a point of not wanting my sister in my life, and not wanting her in my own wedding coming up. Kate and I are still close, and I want Kate to be my maid of honor, not my twin sister. This has broken my mother's heart, but I feel like I can't trust her, that she's toxic, and I don't want drama between her and Kate at my wedding. My mother just cried, and I don't know what to do. With enough time, I probably would get over it, but I've never been this serious before. Please tell me your thoughts. Why do you keep selling out your friends for her? Your sister did not cause you to lose your friend a third time. You did. You were untrustworthy and silly. But if you want to improve, stop blaming others and recognize your weakness. You know your sister is a vile snake, but you still keep getting trapped by her. The only incident that isn't your fault is when your sister got together with Kate's ex. Your sister didn't make you say what you said about Beth's dad. If you're going to be complicit in covering up your friend's affair, that means telling no one until after it has already gone public and they've split from the partner that they've cheated on. By all means, don't invite your sister to your wedding and cut her off. But you come across just as toxic and addicted to drama as she is. This comment is brutal, but absolutely spot on. Sorry, Opie. I think maybe the reason you don't want your sister in your life is because she holds up a mirror. 1. Learn to keep a secret. It's not a secret anymore if you tell someone else. 2. Pick your associations better. Your sister has a bad moral character. Why would you trust her after what she did to Kate? And why are you even friends with Lily, who is a cheater and out that burden on you to keep a secret? She can go deal with her own consequences.